النهاردة أنا عندي مهمة للسفر حول العالم للتعرف على الأماكن والثقافات من خلال عدسة الكاميرا بتاعتي. وأول مدينة هنزورها هي لندن، مدينة معظم الأغنياء والفنانين ومدينتي اللي أنا بعيش فيها، وكفاية إن العالم كله بيظبط وقته وساعته على لندن. في جولتنا النهاردة هنستكشف معمار لندن بطريقتين. أول طريقة هننزل بالبطة البرمائية في شريان الحياة لنهر التيمز عشان نقدر نشوف لندن الكبرى. أما لندن الصغرى أو لندن المدينة هننزل مع ستيفن الخبير المعماري البريطاني في جولة داخل لندن المدينة، ونشوف شكل المدينة اتغير إزاي بعد حريق لندن سنة 1666.
أهلا وسهلا بكم في المدينة السقعانة لندن. النهاردة جولات ميكو بس من غير أي حاجة تانية، هتاخدكم في جولة سياحية في لندن. الحاجة الوحيدة الحلوة على الجولة بتاعتنا النهاردة إن أنا هاخدها بالعربية الغريبة دي. العربية الغريبة دي هي مش عربية، هي مركب، هي مش مركب ولا عربية، هي ولا عربية ولا مركب. أقول لكم على حاجة، إحنا دلوقتي هنقابل واحد يحكي لنا على الموضوع ده وهنكمل كلام هناك عشان الموضوع كبير قوي. Hello, mate.
Oh, Miko. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you
Yeah.
too. I'm quite excited about the duck tour today.
Well, we're just delighted you've come to see us.
Thank you so much. It's, you know, like there is no other way or a better way to explore London without just going in its marvelous river, and in the same time we're in the land.
Absolutely right.
Like south and north of the river, which is an amazing thing. Can you tell me a little bit about the tour and how this amazing idea started?
Well, our wonderful yellow vehicles take people through Westminster and sometimes the city as well, on land and river, as you've said. And we use amphibious vehicles that have their heritage during the Second World War, most notably for the D-Day landings on the 6th of June 1944.
بيرجع وصول سيارات البطة البرمائية وسبب تصنيعها لتفريغ البضائع بعد تدمير المرافق والمينا في الحرب العالمية الثانية.
Welcome to London Duck Tours. We are travelling on Miranda. That's our duck today. So we're travelling on Miranda. At the wheel we have our driver Marcos. So yes, hello Marcos. And my name's Jess. I'm your guide. Hello.
انتوا متخيلين ان العربيه هتبقى ماشيه على الارض وفي لحظه تنزل في الميه؟ ميه نهر التيمز، واللي هو شريان الحياه للندن او لبريطانيا عامه، واللي خلق المدينه دي كان قربها للريفر ومكانها على الريفر، وهي كده بقت لندن. ويا سبحان الله.
So we're heading onto Waterloo Bridge. Now if you have a look to your left just after this building, you'll see a great view of the London Eye and Big Ben right in the middle of the London Eye, coming up just on the left hand side, just between these two buildings, coming up right now. There it is, right there. Oh yes.
I took the picture.
You got it.
I got the
awesome.
picture.
Yes.
Picture to say I was here.
Exactly.
So how many selfies?
As a tour guide, I always end up sometimes in the background. So I have a friend of mine who looks through pictures on the internet to find themselves in people's selfies in the background.
Oh,
So we have Trafalgar Square. This was mostly completed in 1844, and that's when the column was finished. Now, one very interesting thing that happened when they finished building Nelson's column, the architects who made the column had a dinner party on top of Nelson's column.
الو جولات ميكو، وان شاء الله اللي هاخدكم في الجوله، وهاخدكم في جوله كده، جوله لندنيه باذن الله. وانا مبسوط جدا ان انا اللي ماسك المايك اخيرا، يعني اعطوني فرصتي، حد فاهم ان انا محتاج اخد فرصه. الو
Although Big Ben, of course, that's actually not Big Ben. Big Ben is the bell inside the clock tower. Big Ben is the bell that goes bong, bong, bong every hour.
دلوقتي رايحين على الام اي 6 واللي هي ايه؟ ام اي 6 دي اللي هي بتاعت جيمس بوند. عارفين جيمس بوند؟ جيمس بوند ده اللي هو تا 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 تا.
So have a look across the river. There's that very strange looking green building with green windows. That is MI6 headquarters.
James! James, do you think he's gonna hear me?
I think you might do if you shout very loud.
James! أنا ميكو يا جيمس! Oh, he's not coming, man.
Okay, folks. So, are you ready?
Yes! I'm more
Alrighty,
than
because here we go.
يلا يلا يلا
Oh,
احنا
yes.
منطلقين يا جماعة على المية والحمد لله. اوبا اوعى ميكو بيبل، ميكو بيبل جوه المية. ايه ده؟ على فكرة بقى، على فكرة أنا أول مرة أنزل الريفر.
So here we are on the mighty River Thames. This river is 215 miles long. It starts around about 175 miles behind us. The sea is roughly 40 miles that way. And the seawater comes all the way into the river, all the way into central London. It's not until you get to West London to Teddington becomes more of a freshwater river. So this is very much seawater we're on right now.
والاحتراف دلوقتي في شكل المباني أو شكل المباني هنا في بريطانيا عامة بيختلف من عصر لعصر. العصر الجورجي بيبني مباني معينة، والعصر الفيكتوري بيبني مباني معينة، ودلوقتي حاليا بدأت المباني تاخد أشكال غريبة أو أشكال بمعنى زي الشاردز، الشازية، واللي هو أطول وأعلى مكان في أوروبا الغربية. وفي نفس الوقت برضو عندنا أماكن زي الجركن، الخيارة المخللة، وبدأت الناس تبقى كرييتيف أو مبدعين في شكل المباني. وكده الرحلة تكون انتهت. عايز اقول لكم في جولة تانية. خلاص الحمد لله يا رب العالمين، سيبنا جولة البحر وانتهت جولة المية، دلوقتي جولة الأرض، وعايزين نشوفوا المباني أثرت ازاي في لندن وفي فكرها وفي ثقافتها وفي الناس بتاعتها وازاي تعال نكمل هناك.
لندن في الواقع بتتكون من مدينتين، مدينة ويستمنستر الملكية ولندن المدينة، واللي هي بتحكم من خلال الشركات والنقابات اللي موجودة فيها. حتى انتخابات العمدة بتاعة لندن المدينة هي مهنة شرفية، لدرجة ان من التقاليد القديمة والاحترام للندن المدينة ان لازم الملكة او الملك الحاكمين يستأذنوا قبل دخول لندن المدينة.
Oh, Stephen.
Hi, Miko.
How are you?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yes, I'm fine, yes. Today we're going to see lots of new buildings in London, in the city, and as well as the old ones like St Paul's Cathedral and the new buildings, and even Tate Modern here as well, which has just had a new extension built. Yeah.
Wow, it's fantastic to see how everything in this city got built from the old days till now.
Well, that's right. We'll see things that are hundreds of years old and some things that only opened last year. Yeah.
Fantastic. Shall we make our way?
Yeah, let's go.
Can't wait. This is quite exciting to be honest too.
لندن أو لندنيوم اتبنت من 2000 سنة لما جه الرومان على بريطانيا وأخدوا المكان اللي جنب النهر عشان يصبح مكانهم، وبنوا حيطة حول المدينة وسموها لندنيوم، واللي هي معروفة دلوقتي بلندن المدينة. أما الشكل الحالي للمدينة عمره 300 سنة.
This building, yes, was meant to return retail back to the square mile in Cheapside, where it had been in previous times. The height of the building is restricted because of the proximity to St Paul's Cathedral, so you can't go higher than the east end of the cathedral here because of the views of the historic building, which are protected.
There's so much restriction on the buildings and skyscrapers in London.
Yeah. John Nouvel describes this building as his stealth bomber because of the facades and the facets of the building.
Goodness, this is so magical. Coming to the cathedral and see the sample from this magical view, and whoever designed the lift is amazing as well.
Yeah, it's a great view. Do you want to get out?
So that is the most famous dome of London.
Yeah, it is.
And with all the details, like the beggars, the angels, the devils, surrounded to protect.
So there's the statue of St. Paul facing down towards the bridge. So the dome has to be seen from everywhere. So nothing.
And why is that?
Well, that is because of the historical and architectural importance of the cathedral. Along with Parliament, St. Paul's is the most important building in London.
Would you say it's maybe St. Paul will be the oldest buildings in this area?
Yeah, along with the churches, the small churches, St. Paul's is the oldest building. Obviously, it was rebuilt after the fire of London. There's nothing much older than those buildings that were built immediately after the fire of 1666.
What causes the fire? Do you think it was the rats, the Black Death, like they said?
I don't think so, no. I think somebody left some bread in the oven too long and it caught fire. And all the buildings were made of wood, so they really
catch
burned.
fire very easily.
They caught fire very easily. So after the fire, the buildings were replaced in stone so that they weren't as combustible, yeah. So this inscription here celebrates the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria, 60 years on the throne, 1897, and only yesterday was the 65th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II. So
that
she's
makes
beaten
her the most person who stayed in the British monarchy.
Yeah, our present Queen. She's beaten Queen Victoria by 5 years. So,
and why was that written here next to the...
Because there was a great celebration, a ceremony, a service at the cathedral to celebrate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee here. The cathedral, 365 feet tall, like every day in the year, and the twin columns are copied from the Louvre in Paris. Christopher Wren had been to Paris and he needed some inspiration to do a new cathedral because there'd not been a classical cathedral in England before. They were all Gothic. So he copied French architecture. So these twin Corinthian columns in two orders here.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's so important in the British history where you said like the Jubilee and many other events has been held in this cathedral. They protect it from everywhere. It's so important in the British history. You don't see why I'm dressed up like this, coat and hat. It's just to be the Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, right.
I'm the new Sherlock Holmes of the British history, the British era, the new one. Do you know actually that Sherlock Holmes is the most portrayed character in Guinness record in the whole of the history and the world?
Films.
Just in films, the most portrayed character.
Different people, I saw that.
I was inspired today by him coming to look like this and put all the history together just by looking at architecture and looking at everything here, and thank you for helping me to see this. Wow.
Yeah, this is Christchurch. This is also designed by Christopher Wren, but as you can see, it's a ruin now. It was bombed in the Second World War and has been kept as a memorial to the people of London who died in the Blitz.
And the view from there.
Oh yeah, there's somebody has an apartment up in that tower there.
Where? There?
Yeah, you can see the window right where in between the columns at the top. So somebody lives in there. So it's
already
occupied.
Here,
yeah.
in the ruins?
Yeah, someone lives in the ruins, yeah.
Wow, that looks amazing to get the clock with all of the old features, ADD 1881 with the back. It's fantastic photo.
Yeah, this is Leadenhall Market, which has been a market here since medieval times, and it was a meat market. So even though the market has changed and they're all shops now rather than butchers, they still have the meat hooks outside all the shops. so to keep it as authentic as possible. So the freehold, all the shops, the freehold is held by the Corporation of London.
I can see the hooks with cheese like.
Yeah, that's where the animals were hung up outside the butcher's shops originally, yeah. And this is where they filmed Harry Potter too. It's a very good place for film locations, is Leadenhall Market, because it never really changes. You know, they aren't allowed to change anything here, apart from the names over the shops when one person moves on and another one takes over.
After the fire, everything of London was ruined.
In the city, in this area, there was
Only
nothing.
the city of London.
Yeah, the city, the fire stopped at the edge of the city.
There is no way you can get the whole monument. All, like, look,
We're too close. Yeah.
I'm trying to get it all inside
yeah.
my shop. I've been there before once.
Yeah, that's the monument to the Great Fire of London, designed by Christopher Wren.
After the fire.
Yeah, 1666 was the fire, and then Sir Christopher Wren rebuilt the whole city, St Paul's Cathedral, all the churches, and the monument there to the fire. All the buildings were made of wood, they all burnt down, and then it all had to be rebuilt. And over the centuries, various buildings have been kept because they're listed.
Listed? What is it listed? Like all the old buildings in the city are listed?
Yeah, well, listing means they're protected for architectural or historic quality, so that we don't throw out the good stuff. We just keep the good stuff and then we build more good stuff.
Good stuff.
So eventually we'll get to a place where there's no room for any more buildings because they'll all be so good.
Then we build in the sky.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's discover more of the city. I can't get enough of the city.
Okay.
I can't get enough.
كريستوفر رين صمم 53 مبنى في لندن بعد الحريق، وبعد ذلك ساهم المعماريين بمباني أخرى مما أدى إلى الشكل الحالي وهو خليط من الحديث والقديم.
I heard that they have all the skyscrapers in the city because the soil here it's more stronger than anywhere around the country, can hold high buildings. Is that true or not?
No. We're on London clay. So before reinforced concrete was invented, you couldn't get high buildings. But of course now with sophisticated modern engineering, you can get the buildings as tall as you want. The only restriction now is from the Civil Aviation Authority, the aeroplanes, so you can't go over 1,000 feet.
I love the old and the new all together. Like
Oh
this.
yeah, it's fantastic. Everything's so close together around here.
The Gherkin has got to be my favorite building of London. The way it looks, everything about it, even you can see it from far, you know that this is London.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about London, because the architect of London, it looks completely different with different shapes. So how they start with building, like with the design of the building and getting permission in the city, isn't that such a difficult thing?
Oh, it is difficult because there's certain protected views of historic buildings like St Paul's Cathedral. So the buildings, the large, tall buildings can only go in certain areas called the Eastern Cluster here. They can't put them near St Paul's Cathedral, but round here they're not in any of the protected views from, say, Richmond or from Greenwich or from Hampstead.
Considering we're talking about architecture coming to London, tell us about Zaha Hadid.
Zaha Hadid, yeah, such a great loss. Yes, she was quite young when she died, but she did leave us with the great legacy of the swimming pool for the Olympic Games, the London 2012, which is a fantastic building, looks like a big fish swimming there. That's out in East London. She came to this country to study architecture at a place called the Architectural Association. She studied under the guy who designed this building, Rem Koolhaas. They were there together, and then she became a teacher and then set up her own practice in London. I mean, she was made Dame Zaha Hadid by the Queen, you know, so she was given that honour. She was, you know, she was representing England, you know, and she won the Sterling Prize twice. And only British architects can win the Sterling Prize, so she was recognised as being a British architect, even though she was born in Iraq.
That's what I love about Britain. Embrace everybody that comes here. Everybody comes, you can be part of the culture, you can add your own touch if you have a touch.
That's right, and that's
And
what she
why
did.
we love it. And I'm sure there is a reason why they call it the foggy city. You see, we can't even see the end of the Shard.
No, the Shard, it's 1,000 feet high. It's the tallest building in Western Europe. designed by Renzo Piano, who's an Italian architect, and it's having its windows cleaned at the moment, but it sits by London Bridge Station.
You can see that all the cleaning there.
Yeah, and it's right next to London Bridge Station, so it's not actually in the historic city, it's south of the river, but this is the Pool of London. So this is where historically all the ships would come to unload their goods and things like that. This is the latest version of London Bridge, but London bridges have been here for thousands of years. Ever since the Romans came, there's been crossings of the Thames here. This one's relatively recent. It was built after the Second World War, but it's where everyone comes across who is arriving in England to London, historically, right from the Romans.
ما تاخدش التليفون بتاعي عشان انا عارفكم. تعالى شوف نفسك. بس كده يا رب ما يضربنيش. قول لهم والله قول لهم. بص كده انا عارف ان انت زهقان مني اصلا. شكله عايز يسرق التليفون. اكل عيني ميكو ما بيشوفش. ايه يا عم والله اكلت عيني بجد. يا عم انت اكلت عيني بجد. سافر بقى.
وفي 2015 لندن كانت أكتر مدينة اتزارت في العالم.
Here we are at Tate Modern, and this is the new extension designed by Herzog and de Meuron, the original architects for the conversion of the power station. They came back, and this only opened last year, 2016.
Oh.
You can see on the 10th floor there's a public viewing gallery.
So where you can see them.
Everybody can see the whole city from there, yeah. It's a real new icon.
Like I like the design between it. It's quite very similar to the old one.
It is
to make it more compatible.
Exactly.
In the way.
Yeah, it's contextual. They've used a brick, a handmade brick, to make it just like the old power station, so it matches.
It's been marvelous. It's been amazing to see all of these buildings and the mix between old and new, and how the city was built and how the city has its influence in every building. It's amazing. Thank you for allowing me to see this. Thank you for guiding me through. It was amazing.
You're very welcome.
Stephen, you've been absolutely marvelous. Thank you very much for your help. I'll see you very soon.
Yeah, nice to see you.
حلقتنا خلصت، بس جولتنا لسه ما خلصتش، لأن الكلام عن لندن يطول ويحلى. من بلد تشارلز ديكنز، وينستون تشرشل، تشارلي شابلن، ديفيد بيكهام، أديل. أحب أقول لكم مع السلامة. مع السلامة.